Al-Qaeda is an Islamist terrorist network set up by Osama bin Laden. Al-Qaeda has been behind several major terrorist attacks, including the September 11, 2001 attacks on New York and Washington. Osama bin Laden, born in 1957, came from a wealthy family in Saudi Arabia and was very religious. He was educated in economics and administration and became very rich when he inherited a large amount of money from his father. When the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, bin Laden decided to have the resistance movement. He therefore traveled to Pakistan and teamed up with the Sunni Muslim theologian Abdullah Azim. At the same time, he set up a kind of recruitment agency for Arab Muslims who wanted to participate in jihad against the communists. Osama bin Laden is said to have used much of his money to finance both travel and subsistence for Saudi men who wanted to take part in the war. He also contributed money to military education and training of the young warriors. How much he himself took part in the war is less known.
The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization founded on October 24th, 1945, to promote international cooperation. At the time of its founding, there were 51 sovereign states as members, and since July 2011, has 193 member states, divided into 5 regional groups, which means that almost all of the world's independent nations are members. The organization's names go back to the United Nations Declaration of January 1st, 1942, in which the government of 26 allied countries joined the British-American Atlantic Declaration, which linked the governments involved to principle on how to act during the ongoing World War II and the forthcoming peace. Representative of the victorious powers of the war in San Francisco on June 26, 1945, signed the charter to form an international organization, adopting the name United Nations. It is so to discuss important social issues that are current and that affect today and the future, where we discuss why this problem has occurred and what they can do to stop and solve the problem.
Human rights are about being able to live a good life. You have the right to education and healthcare. All human beings are born free and equal in value and rights. PPO. One of the biggest consequences of terrorism is that innocent people die while the guilty just watch. The terrorist attack on the World Trade Center in New York led to a war against Iraq, and the terrorists only created more vandalism than benefit. The plane in the building detonated, a beginning of the well-planned plan to declare a war against Iraq. All sorts of people died in Iraq, including American soldiers. The deed in New York was about no gain but loss. The causes Osman bin Laden mentioned in an interview was the occupation of Palestine, immoral lifestyle, approval in Iraq, American troops in Saudi Arabia, and American support for the brutal dictatorship there.
Okay, right now we're going to interview a man named
Abdullahi.
We're going to ask him about some questions about our subject, that is about Al-Qaeda. The first question is, do you know what Al-Qaeda is?
I mean, I've heard of them. I heard they committed the terrorist attack on World Trade Center 2001.
Next, what is your view on Al-Qaeda and what they have done?
They're evil, I guess. They kill people, innocent people.
How do you think Al-Qaeda has affected the world?
Well, they've affected the world in a negative way, in many ways. They've affected both Muslims and non-Muslims. They've killed a lot of innocent Muslims in Muslim countries, and they've killed a lot of innocent non-Muslims, which has led to a lot of unjust laws against Muslims. So they've harmed a lot of people, to summarize it.
The greenhouse effect makes life on Earth easier, and that keeps the stability of Earth's temperature, which means not too hot and not too cold. But it's not so anymore. Humans' activities have increased amounts on the greenhouse effect. This has made the greenhouse effect too strong, and the temperature on Earth is rising. We can fix it by walking instead of bus, cycling instead of car, and more like that. We can improve this by removing buses and trams, or we can make them go every hour. Then people will cycle or walk to the place they are going to.
By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys complete free, equitable, and quality primary and secondary education, leading to relevant and go for effective learning outcomes.
Build and upgrade education facilities that are child disability and gender sensitive and provide safe, non-violent, inclusive, and effective learning environments for all.
By 2030, ensure that all girls and boys have access to quality early childhood development, care, and pre-primary education so that they are ready for primary education.
Okay, equal access to affordable technical, vocational, and higher education. By 2030, ensure equal access for all women and men to affordable and quality technical, vocational, and tertiary education, including university.